Hello YouTube. My name is Adrian. This is my first YouTube video. It is about the FSA Powerbox crankset power meter, which I've just purchased from Wiggle because that was the cheapest price I could find, and that's the sort of selfish consumer that I am. So that's the box, and this is the contents. This contains the crankset itself, the drive side, and this left side, and also looks like two bits of instructions, two leaflets, and this which contains the wave spring washer and some other sort of plastic washer. It does come with a battery installed. Here it's got this rubbery sort of lid which kind of just pops off. And there's batteries installed. I just have to remove this piece of paper to engage the terminals. The battery is a CR2450 coin battery. And yeah, I went for the 5236, like the mid size. They also had the 5339 and the 5034, I think, available, compact. But yeah, I think I wasn't that excited about getting this one. It was just that it was cheap and I can afford it. And I've heard that it actually does produce reliable power data and possibly even dual side power data in the future when they get around to finishing their app, but that might even cost more money as well. I'm not sure if I have to pay for that service, but I will now try and install it, and I probably won't show you that process because I can't be bothered. But I'll show you once it's installed. Actually, just before I install this thing, I should do the weigh-in because that's important for cycling related video. I should mention this is the 5236 and it's the 172.5 millimeter crank length. There's a drive side. That's not touching the table. 698. Left side. Try and fit this over here. That's on the scale. 955 grams. So yeah, not the lightest, but probably the cheapest on the market at the moment, I think, especially if it is dual side power, which it is not currently apparently. And this is the alloy version as well, not the carbon. They would have had to spend probably another $500 to get the carbon version, which actually looked a lot better as well. So we'll see if I can install it. So currently in the middle of installing my my power meter, and what I'm noticing is my bike is BB30 bottom bracket. It's an old Focus, 2012 Focus Zelco. And after taking off my really nice high quality rotor, lightweight rotor crank, and on that one I was using these spaces between the bottom bracket and each side of the crank. But I actually bought for my new one, I bought this set here. FSA adapter for BB30, because this FSA Powerbox is BB386, so this is like an adapter. But what I'm noticing is using this, it doesn't really fit. I put on both sides and tightened it up, and it was still a big gap. So not a big gap, probably 3 millimeters or 4 millimeters. So, but I'm noticing that's about as much wider that these spaces were than these ones. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the right size that I had anyway. Maybe I can measure them with my cheap Chinese calipers. Somehow with one hand. No, it's too hard. Like this. So these ones that I bought, FSA, are 9.0 millimeters, and the ones that I'm now going to use are 11.2. So yeah, I think that's the gap I had, was about double the difference, which would be 4.4 mil. We'll see if that works. Okay, so I thought I should show this because it's a bit weird. This is I've just installed the left side and tightened it up to the 40 Newton meters that says in the instructions. So I've just been following the instructions trying to install this thing, and I think it's right now. But the issue was that it's got this wave spring washer just here, and it said when you tighten it up, it should not be completely flattened. It should be clearance. It says of 1.5 to 2 millimeters, which is what I've got now. But the thing is that first I was using this spacer on both sides, this FSA one on both sides, and the gap was too big. So then I tried this bigger spacer on both sides, and the gap there was no gap. It was like flattened, the washer. So now I've got this wider, slightly wider spacer on the drive side, and on this side I've got the FSA one, which is slightly narrower. So I've got the right clearance according to the instructions, using two different size spaces. So somehow I've pulled it off by just happening to have the right amount of parts available. So now I guess I'll try and go for a ride. Okay, it's probably really windy and you can't hear me, but power meter is installed and we have it connected to my Wahoo, and it's working, which is good. I've got it on my display. I've got it set for the 3-second power, so I'm getting a read of my average 3 seconds, and yeah, pretty happy. And also cadence as well, so it's also acting as a cadence sensor. So yeah, that's good. And I have to say that actually the cadence is looking a lot better than the Wahoo cadence sensor I was using. The Wahoo cadence was like really jerky, and it would just kind of jump all over the place. But this is kind of like holds a better number, a more usable number. Anyway, it's really hot here. It's about 34 degrees Celsius, and I'm very sweaty. Okay, that was my first ride using my new power meter, the FSA Powerbox. I've got the 5236 tooth with the 172.5 mil crank, and it was only a very brief ride because it's so freaking hot outside, but I'm just glad it's working, and yeah, it seemed to work pretty good. especially the cadence sensor. I was pretty happy with that. I should note that I had to swap the spacers around because I had the wide one on the drive side before, but I swapped it around, so I've got the I'm not sure if you can see, I've got down there, I've got the 9mm spacer on the drive side and an 11mm spacer on the left side, and that's the gap that's meant to be in the instructions. They say they want some clearance there, 1.5 to 2mm. So I don't know why they want a gap. It seems a bit weird. It just looks a bit dodgy. I liked on this, my old rotor one, this one has like this that thing that screws in to tighten it on one side. It's a lot nicer system. And this was a 5339, so now I've gotten down to a smaller chain ring. Maybe I have to lose a chain link or two, I don't know, maybe. I'll have to take it to a mechanic, my mechanic. The only reason I was confident doing this operation is that I've taken this one off and on a couple of times already, just by watching YouTube videos. And I had the tools for it, so I gave it a go, and it seems to think I pulled it off. I should point out that Wiggle has this setup advertised at I think 700 and something grams, 720 grams, which is definitely wrong since I weighed it in at what, 950 something grams. So I'm not too happy about the weight, but this is about 200 grams heavier than my rotor. So maybe I'll have to try and save 200 grams somewhere else. I've recently saved about 80 grams on my new skewers, titanium skewers. So I don't know, it's a pretty old bike anyway, and hopefully I'll be upgrading one day soon. I think it should probably weigh in just maybe 8.1 kilos now with this new crank. So it's not too bad for an old bike. But I guess I could compare the power data to my Wahoo Kicker Smart Trainer. That would give us an idea of how accurate the power data is, or a way of comparing it. But I don't know, maybe that'll be another video if I can be bothered. But anyway, thanks for watching, and happy riding if the weather allows. Goodbye.